As a fierce advocate for the protection of our environment, 17-year-old Taylor Francis has visited schools around the United States to present his personalized take on the PowerPoint made famous by former Vice President Al Gore. Please welcome Taylor Francis to the stage to accept the Youth Conservation Achievement Award.
Thank you. This is an immense honor for me, and it's particularly special for me because what all of you guys do every day and what the NWF does every day is on the front lines of protecting my generation's future. So thank you for your leadership. You know, 3 years ago when I started speaking out about this issue, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how people would respond. Because for many of us, climate change is not a pressing daily reality. The consequences can be out of sight. They can be further down the road. But as I've traveled the world, as I've traveled around America and to China talking about this issue, I've been stunned by the response among my peers, by the response among the world's youth. We get it. We understand that this is not some distant, faraway problem. This is our problem, because we are going to pay the price of inaction with the droughts and the floods. Our daily lives, the water that we drink, the food that we eat, are going to be affected. And so looking at the problem, looking at the consequences, it's so easy to be pessimistic. But I'm not. I'm optimistic. I'm deeply hopeful because I have seen that my generation is standing up and is starting to act. I meet students who've convinced their parents to switch their light bulbs. I talk to kids who've convinced their schools to install solar panels, and I see young people who elected a green president and who are working to hold him accountable. So we get it. Young people are starting to take action, and because of the leadership of the people in this room, and because of the leadership of young people around the country, the tide is really starting to turn. But it's still not enough, and individual action is not enough, because at the end of the day, we need government action. We need government action to support change because today the true costs of pollution are ignored. When we pay our energy bills, when we fill up the gas tank, those bills don't pay for the droughts, the resource conflicts, and the floods to come. So we need government action in the Senate, we need it in Copenhagen to ensure that those true costs of carbon aren't thrust on my shoulders. And this is really it. This is such a critical crossroads. This is a critical moment where my future will be defined. And I think we're confronted by what Martin Luther King called the fierce urgency of now. And despite that, as policymakers debate this issue in Copenhagen and here in Washington, it's really easy to be distracted by the minutia. It's easy to view this as a regular political issue subject to partisanship and delay. It's easy to lose sight of what the stakes are, but I don't have that luxury. As a young person, I can't escape the stakes. And so I think as we debate this issue, as we consider the critical details, I hope we all remember a larger truth, a truth that's summed up by a Sioux proverb that says we don't inherit this planet from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. That's why what we are all doing here today, that's why what you are all doing is so important. So thank you very much. Thank you.